Hello everyone. The next topic that we're going to cover is a very important topic in programming, and it's called looping. So here I've got our index.html set up, and we have a script already linked up to our loops.js file, which is blank. That'll be our starting point. So first thing is, what is looping? The idea of looping is that there might be something that you want to do over and over again. And in that case, it's not very productive to just write lines of code over and over again. So think about the case of if you wanted to print every number from 1 to 100. So let's use something that we used before, console.log. So we could do console.log and log 1, right? And then we could copy it and get to 2, then copy it and get to 3, and then 4, and so on and so on. This would mean I'd have to write 100 lines of console.logs, and that's not very fun, nor is it very efficient, and it's very long. So obviously there's a better way, and that's called looping. So let's talk about the first kinds of loops. So our problem is log from, let's do 0 to 100. The first type of loop that we could use is called a while loop. So a while loop takes the form of this. While some condition, do what's in the code block. So just like our if statement, so we compare that to our if statement of if some condition code block, it looks pretty similar, except in the case of the while loop, whatever's in this condition is going to be checked after every single time. Whereas the if statement runs once, the while loop is going to run again and again and again until the condition is false. So let's give the example with this. Log from 0 to 100. Let's have a let count equals 0. And our condition can be while count, this variable, is less than 100. Let's log count. And so now if we continue just like this, we would run into something very bad, right? So let's think about how this loop would go if we tried to run it. We would have let count equal 0. While 0 is less than 100, console.log count. So the loop, the code block ends, and so the while loop is checked again. While 0 is less than 100, so the code runs again, and we console log 0, and then while 0 is less than 100, you can see what I'm getting at. This is going to run infinitely. The way loops work, and especially the while loop, is that you need to have something that updates the loop to get to a point where the condition isn't true anymore. So to fix this loop, we can do something like this. So now when the code runs, let count equals 0, while 0 is less than 100, console.log 0, count plus plus, so count is now 1. The loop runs again, 1 is less than 100, so that's true. We log count, count plus plus, count is 2, and so on and so forth. And eventually we'll get 100 is less than 100. Console.log 1, or so since 100 is not less than 100, that's false. We will break out a loop, and we will get to just a quick message after loop, just to show you that we reached this message. So now let's try to run this code. So if we pull up our console, we will see 100 printed, or we would see count printed 100 times. Now I messed up a little bit because it only reaches 99, because once it reaches 100, 100 isn't less than 100, and then the after the loop message happens. So if we wanted to also loop the number 100, we would do something like count is less than equal 100. So if we refresh that, that'll get us that one extra case because it'll check, oh, 100 is less than or equal to 100. It is equal to, so this is true. Log 100, count plus plus to 101, and now 101 is not less than or equal to 100. So we break out of the loop and go to this console log. So that is the while loop, and it's one of the less common loops that we'll run into, but it's good to see a presentation of it. So thank you for watching, and next video we'll talk about a better loop.